You know,
I saw it yesterday. I couldn't believe that.
something I've been thinking about it, just as DOT is kind of an opportunity to push us in the direction of overall restructuring. It seems like another one, because one of the barriers, and I've written about this, and I heard a Democratic senator just this morning say the same thing, talking about the changing the constitutional officers, saying that I can really go for a lot of that stuff, but I really have to balk at superintendent of education. Which if you don't do that, I mean, you're looking at half the government, and there's a problem in that public school supporters do not see you as a supporter.
Right.
And so you've got a real problem with pushing the idea of doing something that really ought to be done. And what I'd like to know is, do you think that you might be able to work better with Jim Rex than you did with Arnaz Tenenbaum on some of these areas that you've got in common? Like, I would think you could work together on things like consolidation of districts and with more logical funding and some things like that. So that there's a real partnership there, and people could see that it's not just I'm doing something that the education establishment, or whatever you want to call it, hates, but I'm actually trying to work with them on things where we agree in very visible ways. I mean, has any thought been given to that, or any overtures? Or
We've had a couple of visits, and they've been pleasant and I think productive. I like his style. It seems to be very matter of fact. So,
yeah. You think there's a promise for that? That we would, 6 months from now say, hey, this is a departure. I really see the governors working with the superintendent where they've got common goals. But we haven't seen that in the past 4 years.
Yeah, I mean, and I've met with Jim in the past, and we've participated in a symposium a couple weeks ago. But one of the interesting things, Brad, you're right, Jim Rex is proposing a lot of things that differ from what Arnaz Tenenbaum promoted. It'll be just speaking for myself, it'll be interesting to see whether or not his ideas and his stated support of those ideas will withstand the pressure that's going to be exerted by the constituencies that are going to oppose it, whether you're talking about the SCEA or the School Board Association. There'll be tremendous pressure put on Mr. Rex. But I think if he can push back and actually stand by the things you talked about during the campaign, I think there's a lot of room for common ground.
Whether you talk about
open enrollment, merit pay, school district consolidation, this whole notion of increasing the number of choices that parents have for their children. I mean, these are all themes of the governor's office.
Right.
I'd like to see whether it withstands the heat of that lobby.
Well, it seems like if they were working together on it, that would make it give it some more bipartisan structure.
I'm having, as Joel said, there's a meeting I had at Jim Rex this afternoon briefing them on this as well, because as you say, there are so many overlapping areas, if you will, and waited for people from you.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a pleasant conversation with him about that, and he favors that. Yeah. So to answer your question, I think there is room for cooperation.
And are y'all going to seize it?
It seems fun to be out publicly working with you. The idea that this office and the governor's office are working together on that.
In the one symposium I spoke at with him, he talked about a lot of his ideas being similar to Teen Senate by Governor Sanford. So it's not like he's not saying that there's no areas of common ground. I mean, he's acknowledging them. But again,
anyway from where we've been in the last 4 years.
There's a tremendous difference. To answer Brad's question, there's a tremendous, I think, opportunity, by having somebody new in there making these noises.
Right.
And I don't mean to sound pejorative by saying that, but I just